gonna be interesting. So, once I send out this stuff, let me get my stuff straight. Let me hear. I really hate that it's always the wrong thumbnail. It's fine. All right. So today I also have to hit the record button because we are doing that. All right. So back to the Minecraft. Let me actually put the Minecraft over here, and let's put this as our second. Okay. So let me get on the server. Today I'm going to be making basic terrain using pretty much just world edit, and then another one using Voxel. So I'm gonna try my best to separate the two, even though usually I would use both, though I'm gonna use them both later on in a much later tutorial. Uh-oh, I have the wrong things. I need to switch that. Anyway, normally I would use that in a I'm gonna use the everything together basically in a much later tutorial to show you guys. Right now we're gonna be focusing on sort of the basics of world edit and the basics of voxel sniper, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try my best to do world edit. Normally I don't love to use world edit as a terrain making tool, but we're gonna do it today anyway. So let me go plot home. Am I lacking what? Oh geez. Let's hub. Let's see if I can do the home or not. I don't know. / home fall build. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that'll take it to us. Another spot. We're on 1.13 right now, so if it works. All right, good. So yeah, we're in 1.13. I'm gonna basically show you guys all of the things you can do in 1.13 right now. It's gonna be pretty much the same as you could do in most of the other ones, though there is a bit more that you can do still, I think, in 1.12, but most things are getting added to 1.13. Basically, if you're trying to use newer versions, it's going to be more difficult, and these tools are going to be less accessible as we go further down the rabbit hole of tutorials here. So yeah, let's go ahead and give ourselves a platform and get to it. So for today, I'm going to be sticking to pretty much a smaller section here. This is kind of large, but normally you would want to stick to something about this size with world edit and voxel sniper. You can maybe go a little bit bigger with voxel sniper, so I'm going to show you why here when we get to it, and I'm going to go ahead and make myself a bit bigger of a platform for voxel that we can use when we get there, and just make that right away. Let me go ahead, let's not make it too much crazy larger, but we'll go a little bit bigger just to kind of give you an idea of why it's easier. So there's that. Didn't need to be higher up. That's just an accident. And that's not. Oh, there we go. It's placing there. Okay. So yeah, let's start with world edit. So for this, I'm gonna go to my second toolbar. So normally you can have a good selection of these. So basically, you hit X and C to navigate and save these. With the items you want, and I usually have, as you can see there, a few different options for myself. So 2 and 3 I have for my my nice things here, and I am going to treat this much more as a tutorial today, so yeah. But yeah, it's going to be basics. World edit is always a little bit more difficult than voxel sniper, so keep that in mind as we go. It's definitely still useful in a number of ways for different things, though. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so let's start out with my first things here. I need to see what I'm looking at, or see what I'm doing here. So yeah, basically we're just gonna make ourselves an outline for a simple little mountain in both cases here. BR, and I'm gonna So this time we don't have to do 2 slashes anymore because this is 1.13. So you can do /BR sphere, and I'm just gonna stick to stone, and I'm gonna use a size of probably 4. So from there, we're gonna just go ahead. Actually, you know what? 4 is a little small. Let's go with 6. That should probably be about right. Yeah. So the difference mainly between this part, between Voxel and World Edit, is the look of the spheres, and that Voxel, you can also use voxels, meaning you can use large cubes. With World Edit, that's not a thing. There's no large voxel. At least I do not think there is a voxel. Yeah, there's no VR VOX. Let's try that. Yeah. So yeah, what I'm gonna do now is just kind of go a little faster here. We're just gonna what you can do as well with World Edit is make yourselves some bigger platforms. So let's say I know in the middle here I'm gonna do a larger chunk because I want it to be a mountain, so I can just do 2 and then set 1. We can just make ourselves chunks here with World Edit pretty easily. That's one of the advantages of World Edit over just using World Edit or just using Voxel Sniper, of course. You can see my little guy over there. So I'm gonna just go ahead and make myself a little bit of a sort of cake here, and then set around that with my spheres, and just kind of build up. Whoops. Of course, there's many different ways you can do this. I'm just showing you for the sake of time this way, because I don't want to place all those spheres on my own. That's just a lot more work than I need to do. So yeah, the quality of terrain that you're gonna get is also gonna be very dependent on how much time you're willing to spend on these kind of terrains. For my sake, it's gonna be not that much time, so it's gonna be not the best quality I could possibly do with World Edit, but I'll show you the best I can for now. I'll do what I can to show you the quality difference in terrains that you can get sort of with World Edit versus Voxel versus the rest of the things we're going to use in the next few tutorials. Speaking of which, tomorrow I am not going to do the tutorial. I'm going to do it on Sunday for the semi-advanced tutorial, the part 2 of this, because I don't want to infringe on Minecon, and I also want to watch Minecon. So, no stream tomorrow. But I definitely will be doing some things. So yeah, hi. This is definitely for 1.13, sorry. We're gonna be sticking to the newest we possibly can. So this is also on Builder's Refuge, so if you really want, you could come on Builder's Refuge and you could try this out for yourself. Or you could watch me, that's also a possibility too. You could teleport to me and see this with your own eyeballs, real time. So right now I'm just kind of making little, you know, vine parts, not vines, what is that, veins, that's better, for the mountain. I think that's what they're called, right? You can also do this with sand, and I'm going to show you really quickly because I want to go a little bit faster, and I'm going to show you why sand is faster. So BR sphere, whoops, we don't have to do 2 slashes, I'm so used to doing that. BR sphere 12, and we're going to go ahead and keep the size 6, and I'm going to do a gmask here of 0. So we're going to only influence the air so that we don't quite mess things up too much here as we go. And I also just want to make sure I'm getting the insides here. So if you have a more laggy server, this is going to take longer because the sand has to actually fall. On this one, it seems to just kind of do its thing pretty much instantly, which is unusual for me. I haven't done this in quite a long time, actually, because there's much easier ways that I'll go over in the future. But I'm showing you how to do this anyway, because I feel a lot of people still use these methods. And I think they are still definitely valid ways to make terrain. And they work wonders in their own ways. And of course, if you need to just like edit something really quickly or do like a quick little change in your terrain or something, this is definitely going to work out really quickly. Of course, there are easier ways to make an outline of terrain with other methods here than I am doing right now. I am kind of botching it at the moment, but as you can see, sand is going to give you a little bit more natural of a look to start out with, and if you're getting that to start out with, it's going to help. The more natural you can make it look just from your outline, the better off you're going to be once you start smoothing it, for sure. Okay, so I'm going to kind of just smooth out some of this stuff, get a little bit more on my legs and stuff here. Yeah, all right, it's kind of looking like an ice cream little chunk there. All right, so the next command I'm going to be showing you is //br. Oops, not // just /. Oh boy. This is on Builder's Refuge. I don't think there is an official world edit for 1.14 yet. If there is, I stand corrected, but I don't think there is yet. They're definitely working on it though. I know they're also working on a lot of things in just, they're skipping 1.13 for some reason. So yeah, look forward to 1.14 things. Sorry, BR smooth. This is gonna be your best friend. So we're gonna go with the size 5. We're probably, whoops. There we go. Probably not going to want too much more than that. We still have my gmask on, so I'm going to show you the difference here. Gmasking 0 is only going to add blocks. So if we get rid of my gmask, it'll allow it to actually delete some of the blocks too. I like to actually go ahead and kind of gmask 0 first to just kind of see what it looks like, because sometimes it comes out with a little bit better of a smooth, actually, surprisingly. And this is pretty much the biggest difference between using World Edit and using Voxel Sniper, at least by themselves. And normally, just keep in mind, I would use these in conjunction with each other, so together, and not be using them apart like this. But for the sake of this, I think it's better to show you guys what they do individually, and then you can combine them on your own with your own experiments. So yeah, as you can see, it's kind of adding a bit of an odd shapes. It's kind of like chunking it up at points here. We don't want that necessarily, but for now that's okay. I'm just gonna kind of go over this quickly here. I'm gonna get a bigger of a, let me go size 8 with my brush, my smoothing brush, so we can just kind of go over this a little bit quicker. Just show you what that looks like. Whoa. Oh boy. The mixer seems to have screwed up. I don't know what happened there. I'm actually curious if the video caught that audio glitch up, or if that was just on my end. Either way, I'm back now. I hope. Okay, so we're going over this a little bit quicker. And of course, I still have my gmask on, so I'm only adding blocks right now. I'm not getting rid of anything, which does tend to make it look better, especially if you already have a generally okay shape. Adding blocks only is going to probably be your best friend. And of course, this isn't the most efficient way to do this. I could just get a size like 31 and just go over this really quickly, but that wouldn't look as good as going over some of these spots, kind of clicking sparingly as I am, kind of keeping some of the shapes that I originally had. So like some of these platforms and stuff I want to keep, just kind of have that natural progression up the mountain you can see happening. And of course, this would be a really good mountain, maybe for like putting stuff on top of, like a couple of builds or something, like a maybe path on this side going up the end or something, with a little something up here. Yeah, you know. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and change the sand into stone. Well, that's fine. We can just do... It's in all caps, but it... Well, no, didn't work. Replace 1. Nope, didn't work. Oh, that's... You know why that didn't work? Because I still have my gmask on. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead. I don't have my gmask on actually anymore, too, so that's good. Let me do the BR smooth again on this, just so I know it's working. And we're going to go over just a bit of the smaller parts I kind of want to correct here. I don't want to do too much. So another trick you can kind of somewhat get away with when you're doing this is gmasking between. So this is going to be a height gmask basically. So between 0 degrees, and this is going to be pretty much the most complicated thing I show you today. So 0 degrees, and usually you don't want to go more than like 60 degrees because that's about where grass stops growing, is about 55, 60 degrees, and that is very steep too. Just keep that in mind. So usually I go about 55, and I am not 100% sure this is going to work with BR Smooth, but it should, and I am going to accept that. And we can just kind of go over our mountain here. Let me, get a bit bigger of a brush here. Start with that. We still have our G-mask on. So now, yeah, if we go over it, you can see it's kind of getting rid of a few different looking blocks than you would think it would. And that's because it's pretty much just influencing blocks between 0 degrees and 55 degrees. So if it has that G-mask, it's smoothing it out, which will help us give a bit more of a slant to some of these parts here. Of course, we need to be careful because, as you can see, it's starting to turn stuff into Swiss cheese. And that's sort of the problem with the BR Smooth tool in general, is that this sort of thing tends to happen. But I'm doing this because I'm going to go over it again with another sort of smooth here, and you're going to see the big difference here. So let's go BR Smooth. Boy, if I can type. There we go. So we want probably, I just threw my tool away, that's fine. Probably like a size, let's do 10 this time. Let's get rid of my G-mask and let's go for it. Oh geez. So as you can see, this is what a normal smooth looks like. It kind of tends to do a bit much, but you can work with it and you can usually get a pretty good mountain in the end here. Oh, I cannot. Oh geez. Okay. There we go. Did I get another? They requested to teleport to me again. I'm in the same spot. It's all right, man. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, we have a mountain now. I think that's actually a pretty decent mountain. So now to quickly color it, I'm going to use that same G-mask, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Once we color it. So yeah, let me, that's still a sphere. We don't want spheres in here. That's bad. Yeah. No spheres in our build. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, it's very smooth, and that's world edit for you. How do I get there? What? Can you not come here? Oh no. Do I not have, let me see. Do I have to do something extra to make it so that you guys can come to this? I think you have to be a friend now, don't you? It's because I'm not on the 1.13. I'm sorry. I don't know that you can actually come here right now. I may have lied. My apologies. Alright, well, I guess you can't. I'm sorry. I thought you could. Maybe... Bloop. I don't know. Maybe that'll work. I thought you were here. I thought I saw your body there. Okay, anyway. Moving on. Voxel. Here we go. So, now we're gonna... Oh, wait. Sorry. Ha! I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to color something. So, I'm gonna do a really fast way to color this, actually. I'm just gonna use a really big sphere. This is sort of the equivalent of doing a global replace, but I'm doing it with a brush to just kind of give you an idea of what the brush does. So we're gonna do BR sphere, and I'm gonna do 2. You could add sort of, you know, like a simplex to this if you wanted. So like if you wanted to do maybe hashtag simplex 2,25113, which is just dark green terracotta. You would actually, whoops, that's the wrong way to type that. You could add a strength to it, and then the blocks. Okay, and then of course you'd give it a size. So for this, we're gonna do like 50. You probably want something like 5 to 7 to do a more controlled version of this, if you were planning on doing different colors around the terrain. And then for the rest of it here, I'm gonna do a gmask between 0 degrees and the 55 degrees again. And now we're just gonna go kaboom. Okay, so you can see it has a bit more camo-esque than I would like. A good way to get around this is actually to, let me undo that. I'm gonna do an even bigger sphere, and I'm gonna do only 1 block this time. We're gonna get rid of the simplex. I just want to show you what that looked like. So this time I'm just gonna do grass, and we're gonna do let's do 100. Yeah. Okay. And this time we're gonna gmask between 0 and 45 degrees, and we'll do the other 10 with another block here. So there's that one, and then so 0 and 55, and we want our brush to be 25113, and then we go boom. Oh no, whoops, ha. We also have to undo that. So in order for this to go around our already placed stuff, we have to make sure we also are gmasking. So in order to also gmask, we have to hit and. So that just means also stone. Or you can type stone because this is 1.13. And bam! 2 clicks and you got some colored mountain. Made from World Edit from scratch. All right, so yeah, there's how you I don't know why it's not letting you teleport to me. I'm sorry, dude. All right, yeah, I guess this is the server being annoying. Anyway, would you rather build cheeseburgers or Batman today in Minecraft? I mean, Batman sounds way more fun than cheeseburgers, personally. Anyway, let me... Oh yeah, sorry. I don't... Jeez, do I even have the IP for this frickin' thing? Builders Refuge, mc.buildersrefuge.com, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's all there is to it. Let me, oof. Yeah. Do I not remember? You know what? It's definitely just on buildersrefuge.com. Here we go. Buildersrefuge.com. That's a real thing. If it ever loads, I will tell you the IP. In fact, I'll put it in chat for you. Server info. Here we go. It's, yep, pretty much exactly what I said. mc.buildersrefuge.com. Oh yeah, I was right. Sometimes I'm right. Oh, what the heck? Why is my page not loaded now? Ugh, I'm sorry guys. My the YouTube live dashboard is not loading now. Hey man, Okay. Not too important. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to my next inventory thing, and we're gonna use some Voxel, and we're gonna try to do this pretty much entirely, this next part, just with Voxel, and we're gonna ignore World Edit to the best of my ability. And you'll see why ignoring World Edit is also kind of sucks when you're building terrain. And then I'll kind of just show you why you should use both in a later video. If the live dashboards ever comes back here, I will respond to your guys' messages. But gosh dang, exit page. Aw snap. I mean aw snap. This isn't an aw snap moment. Oof. All right, I think I'm back. Yeah, we're back. All right, sorry about that, guys. Scooby-Doo is 50 years old? Oh my gosh. Wow. Really? That can't be right. Animation ain't even 50 years old, right? That can't be right. I feel like you're pulling my leg. Anyway, okay. So, advantages of Voxel. So you can use BR. This is not BR, sorry. So, you can use BB, which is a ball, or you can use BV, which is a voxel. So you have two different kind of ways to place down material just initially to get your outlines. My actual preference is both, to be honest. So it's better to kind of use voxels for the large stuff and then spheres for the small stuff. So we go BV and we do nice, let's go brush size. So for size we just do B and then we give it a number. So I'm gonna do, let's do 15. So you can see you can also get rid of blocks with this, so you got to be careful. This, we also need to change our voxel, which is the block, so that we probably just want to use stone. And now if we click and we also get rid of our gmask, that would help. We can actually place some terrain down. So I'm going to basically just make a bit larger of a mountain, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna make some feet kind of with these basic squares here and do sort of the same basic sort of thing I did. And this is why Voxel is a lot faster than just using World Edit, because I don't have to go in and just, you know, place this material by, you know, either having a position and then a position and then setting it, or maybe I could do like a copy brush thing, but that would take forever. So yeah, easier to do it with this because you can easily change the size of it as well. So if I want to go ahead and change it down to the size of 5, I can do that. And then if I wanted to go, so for smaller stuff, I like to actually go to my ball here, and I'm gonna use a size 5 actually. And then we kind of go in and just, and see, this is the big difference between the spheres of World Edit and Voxel. I like to call these little nipples. Voxel gives you nipples and World Edit doesn't. There you go. Another good way to do terrain is to approach a terraformer and go, please. Yeah, exactly. Also pay them a lot of money. That'll usually get them to do it. Pay someone else a lot of money to do it for you. That's one way to do this as well. Well, yeah. I'm gonna make my thing a little larger here. We're gonna go 9 sized sphere. I'm gonna go a little bit bigger because the smoothing for Voxel is actually one reason that you should use Voxel over World Edit for the at least smoothing part of terrain creation. Voxel tends to be a little bit better in general for just the initial creation of it, but then the coloring, not so as much. Please put a Voxel gives you peace. Oh jeez. I don't think I want to put that on a t-shirt, but thanks for suggesting that. Okay. Oh, geez. Also, for voxel, you do U. Though in the new versions of World Edit and stuff, voxel and World Edit tend to be linked, so /U will just kind of do an undo as well. At least on Builder's Refuge it is, so yeah, you can count on that here. Okay, so once I finally get an outline, as you can see, this is also definitely not the fastest way I could possibly be doing this, but definitely not the slowest, because I could just still be doing these things by hand, which I actually saw a tweet about the other day where somebody commented on somebody and was like, "Oh man, too bad you used tools to make that." And it was yeah, Peerless Moon, but you know, he basically just kind of like responded to him. He was like, "Yeah, but you know, I don't have 3 months to build this, so why would I want to do this by hand?" And I totally agree. I mean, why would you want to do something without tools when you have the tools to do it? When you have the tools anyway, why not use them? It's kind of like, it's like going to Photoshop and then being like, "Oh, there's plugins? Why would you ever use plugins?" And it's just kind of like, well, because it makes life easier, man. Like, why would you not use plugins? Like, it's the same equivalent here. Like, yeah, you can build it by hand, and there's obviously like a certain, you know, good, like, you know, I give them like, you know, credit for building it by hand, but you don't have to. There's no real reason to, unless you're in survival or something. Like, of course you're gonna have to build it by hand. You don't get tools in survival, but if you're in creative, why not use tools and not hinder yourself a bunch by using your hand only. Anyway, just a little rant there. Yeah, get the same on Reddit. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show that, because I know, even though you're using language, man, it's flagging you because you're using language. But I'll show your comments because I feel they're relevant. Mr. Josie. Yes, Reddit will do the same thing. But yeah, no, it's really stupid logic though. It's because it's basically like, oh no, you shouldn't use this really easy thing that helps you a lot. It's just like, because I don't like it. And it's just like, well, sucks for you, man. Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, too bad you don't like it. Like, just give me your down and then move on. Like, I don't need to hear any more than that. Anyway, sorry, I'm making a rant now. As you can see, this is generally the same as World Edit right now. We're not getting any different looks, at least. We could definitely be doing this with World Edit right now. There's no huge difference other than the amount of time it might take to do with World Edit. Just kind of being a little bit harder to make the spheres and the brushes and stuff, basically, I think. So yeah, this is going to be kind of a multi-mountain chunk here, I guess. And this is pretty much the rest of the video, so I'm fine with spending a little bit more time on this one. And showing you just kind of how much better you can actually make it with Voxel anyway. I don't want to spend too much more time because I want to give you a little bit of a realistic idea of kind of generally the same. So the first one took, what was that, like not even 20 minutes maybe? And then this one's been already 15 or so, but that's basically just because I'm making it larger. But you can see, even though I'm making it larger, I'm going relatively about as fast as I would be over there, if not faster. Probably a bit faster. Anyway, so yeah, now the fun part. So these, actually, let me make the peak a little bit better up here. We can give it a bit of an actual peak up here. That might help. Okay, so that's fine. We're gonna mold it into it. So yeah, what is it? I mean, with big builds, one could assume that it is made At least to a degree with plugins. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, every build I see that's larger than, like, I don't know, a plot size, I assume has been made with plugins and world edit and stuff. I mean, it's kind of dumb to think that they weren't. I don't know. Anyway, I mean, even the ones with like the gosh, if I can say it, Kokrikrat. Oh gosh, I'm gonna pretend I said that right. And the Forge one or whatever. Oh geez, Reforged or whatever. Both of those, like, those are plugins. I don't know. It's funny. They still have world edit in those too, I'm pretty sure. Anyway. Kokrikot. I'm gonna pretend I'm saying that right with the accent and stuff too. Okay. Anyway, sorry. On with the tutorial. So the next part is B. So these are my favorite things. So you do EB, and this is going to be basically our different blend ball. Sorry, I don't think it's blend, it's ball. Erode, ball, and then you do either lift, melt, or smooth. So lift and melt are going to be your best friends when it comes to terrain, because, well, I'll just show you. Let's use lift first. So lift is going to be better for the starting out here. We're going to go with a brush size of 7, because lift is going to be a little bit more messy, and it's just going to kind of give you a pushing and pulling sort of look for your brush. And it's always going to be sort of random, so it's never going to do it in a perfect cylinder, sort of. So this is the main reason that Voxel is going to be way better than your world edit for your general terrain. And that's because, as you can see, just the crappy version of smoothing right now is already looking pretty good. And I haven't even turned on like gmasks or anything to try and help myself out. Of course, the best thing about this is that once you start combining things, like we're going to do later on, you can start using gmasks with Voxel and using some nice world edit with Voxel, and it gets interesting. It gets fun. We'll get there when we get there, though. It'll be some later streams. Bro, do you even lift? Do you though? Because you should start. Especially in Voxel. It's worth it. I love that I'm getting the chat because I'm in 1.13 now. I can't stop that. Oh well. We're gonna skip this song. Okay. So once we get this all smoothed out, so yeah, once I get a little bit more smoothed out, I'll show you why the lift or the melt and smooth are so great too. So actually, I'm just gonna use melt now, BEB melt. So I also like to use melt. I just kind of like to use lift and melt kind of in conjunction with each other usually. I just kind of switch between them, because melt is really good for cliffs and stuff. It kind of helps you smooth out the cliffs really well and just kind of make them more kind of perfect at the bottoms, and just kind of they look more natural when you use melt on them. And then lift and stuff tends to work better with more of the interesting looking terrains you have to work with. Like if you need like a really interesting shape coming off of your terrain or something, or if you need it to do something special, lift is going to be your best friend, because melt will generally stick to the blocks that you're melting. So trying to think of a good example. So if I were to lift right here, it might come straight towards me. If I melt right here, it's just going to come up into a square. So that's a melt, BEB lift. So if I do that same lift and I try to pull it towards me, which is the other tool, as you can see, it goes straight towards me. So if I need to like come off of the terrain, I use lift. If I need to stick to the terrain, I use melt. So let me do like 10. Oops. I think I accidentally put a thing there. Yep. Ooh, that's always fun to watch. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna stick with the E being melt for now because I want to stick to the terrain for now. So yeah, we definitely want to get rid of most of the sphere looks on this. That's the real point of smoothing out this terrain. Hopefully we gave it a decent look to it with the spheres and stuff. We don't have to do too much crazy edits on it here. I mean, really, I'm not going for the all-star terrain right now. I'm kind of doing this really quickly. But that's just to kind of give you an idea of what everything looks like. So you can go out and do it yourself better than I. I always love tutorials because it's like, here's really crappy things, go do it better than me. Here's how you do it though. I mean, not always though. It's not always the best of the best work. You're never gonna see like the Mona Lisas in a tutorial. And if you do, well, you're lucky. Yeah. Maybe they already made it and then they're using it as a tutorial. That could be a possibility. Like, here's how you redo this sort of thing. Anyway, we're almost there. And of course, you don't have to continuously click. You can just hold down with Voxel as well and world edit. Not necessary. So yeah, I'm gonna go over this kind of a little more quickly so I can just give you an idea of what the next brush looks like here, because that one's real fun to do, and we don't have to worry about it as much. We can just kind of go over it really fast with the smooth, and I will tell you right now that world edit smoothing versus the actual smooth brush for Voxel Sniper are miles different. So I will just kind of give you an idea real quick here. And when I post the actual video, I will try to show them side by side so you can see kind of what the actual difference is. Hopefully they look pretty much the same. So actually, you know what? In order to do this properly, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna make a stack of this and I'm gonna show you guys exactly the biggest difference between world edit and voxel smoothing. So I'm gonna just kind of give this the rest of its smoothing with the voxel here, just kind of, okay, good enough for now. I would normally kind of go in and make this look better for sure. But for now, I think this terrain will do the trick. I'm gonna kind of fix these bottom chunks here because I think they look really bad. But otherwise, I think we're good to go. So yeah, I hope you guys are looking forward to Minecon tomorrow. That should be, hint hint, a nice thing to watch. Might be something interesting, is all I'm saying. That's all I can say. But yeah, you guys should watch. It's gonna be fun. Okay, I think that's enough. So now I'm gonna make a stack of this, and I'm gonna show you the biggest difference between the smoothing with voxel and smoothing. Whoops! What the heck? Why did it just do that? What is going on right now? Why did we click out of the Minecraft? Did it just disconnect me? Yes, it did. Okay, I don't know why my mouse is being really dumb right now, but it is. Okay. Sorry about that. We're back. Are you gonna release the stream as a video? Yes, I am. And I'm gonna edit it up all for you. Let's hope this works. Let's hope it take us. Hope it take us there. That was pure English, man. Beautifully spoke. Okay. I apologize. Let's do this. So I'm gonna make a stack of this. Let's try this again. And and then I'm going to show you the biggest differences here between Voxel and World Edit. So for some reason that made also the music stop. Oh boy, things just happened. Okay, so I'm just gonna smooth this side of it, and you'll kind of get the idea. All right, stack it. Okay, so let me go ahead and do World Edit first. BR smooth, and let's just. Oops, we gotta make this probably. Let's go 15 for both. That way it's even and we can just do this right. So let me just kind of click over every bit of this and give you an idea of what's gonna happen. It's actually not looking too bad right now, I'm not gonna lie. It's not horrible. But I'm gonna show you why the Voxel's usually better. Okay, we're just gonna worry about doing this side. Oh geez, wow, that was really bad. I don't know if you saw that and that, but that's too smooth. All right, so yeah. Now we'll go ahead and do BEB smooth, and we'll go to my Voxel here. So it actually doesn't matter which of the two you use for this one. For the other two, it is switched push and pull for melting and for lifting. I don't know why melting and lifting are switched for the lifting and the pulling between the gunpowder and the arrow, but they are, so keep that in mind. Okay, so yeah, here's smoothing with Voxel. Look how much less crazy it is. It's just so much. Oh, whoop, we need to make sure we're doing 15 just for it to be even. But even still, just look how much less it's doing on every click though. It's like, it feels like I would need to do sort of like a holding down click almost to even get close to sort of the amount of times I had to click to get what I did over there. So yeah, as you can see, this is already looking pretty smooth, and this one is like butter smooth, and then this one is sort of naturally terrain smooth. And that's sort of the difference between them, I think. And yeah, even down here, let me go back to the World Edit. Let's do a click or two on the ground. So as you can see, yeah, nothing. Let me even do it again. Nope, that's wrong one. BR smooth 15. There we go. Okay, yeah. So as you can see on the ground, it didn't even help us make this a nice shape anymore. It just kind of did nothing to it. So yeah, that's the difference. Use Voxel for smoothing. All right, so now the other big difference between just using Voxel and just using World Edit is going to be your ability to texture. So with Voxel, you have /B over or /BO. So B over, and then we're going to do a depth of 1. So you can definitely do different depths, and you can kind of play around with that. So actually what I'm going to do is maybe a depth of 5 to start out with, and we'll go with a Voxel of let me just get a placement block for now. So let me grab maybe diorite. That could work. So /V diorite. Yep, there we go. And if we go ahead and just kind of, whoops, I just smoothed the crap out of that. Let's undo that. Okay, now if we grab my Voxel and we do B over 5 and diorite, now we should be able to go over it. So let me get rid of any gmask just in case. Nope, there's no gmask. Maybe B over isn't working right now. Yeah, diorite, brush size 15. Okay, it's just not working. Noted. B over doesn't work in 1.13. Okay. I guess that's actually good to know. It doesn't work on this server right now. So yeah, limitation of Voxel. There you go. Either way, what I was going to do is just kind of go over this whole thing with a depth of 5, which would go over every block 5 down. So it would have been diorite 5 down, and then from there I would have just placed some grass over it, and with a depth of 1. So yeah, in order to do that, instead we're gonna just go over it with world edit, because I want it to be colored. I want to see what it looks like. Actually, this is a nice little terrain. So yeah, I think we basically covered the basics of making terrain with world edit and with voxel. So as a bonus, I'm gonna quickly go over one more thing with you guys in this tutorial right now, after I do a quick little terrain thing here. Let me go ahead, terrain, so post 2, post 1. Let's do replace between. So this is just kind of a sneak peek of these global terrain texturing commands I'm going to be showing you guys later on. I've definitely shown a few of them in my past streams, but trust me, they get complex. So between 0 and 55 degrees, actually let's do the 0 and 45 degrees with, yeah, let's do 2 and then we'll do a different color outside of that. We'll do the normal overlapping. Oh no. Is it gonna work? The answer is no. Gave me an exception. Okay. Cool. Let me try again. Let's try post 1 down at the bottom. Of course, I didn't even smooth the other side of this, so. Okay, replace between, oh, that helps to put the other degree. There we go. And then between 0 and 55 with the same as the other. Oh, whoops. So I'm cheating a little bit, and I'm using world edit, of course, right now to color it, and it's just to kind of prove my point that world edit is generally going to be better for texturing, and voxel is going to be generally better for smoothing. But there are definitely, as you've seen in this tutorial, ways to do both, or ways to do it with both. So now we need to gmask 1 and do that one more time. Be good to go. Okay. So now we can kind of get an idea of the biggest differences of our terrains here. And the main thing I'm going to be noticing, at least just right off the bat, is the complexity of it. Voxel just tends to give you a little more wiggle room to make more complex looking terrains. So the added bonus, let's say you have a chunk here that you're like, I just didn't make that quite smooth enough, or that maybe I didn't make that come down fast enough or something. Let's see. Let's go. Yeah, maybe this cliff right here. You're like, this is too much of a cliff. I think I need it to be a little more of a mountain right here. So what you can do, and this is totally a 100% feature of Arcanax's tools here, is going to be replacing some of this chunk that you want with the loft tool. So we're going to start a frame right here, and basically what I'm going to do is kind of give myself this lump right here, this hill. So I'm going to just kind of outline it with this first sort of thing. So I just left click for my first frame. Whoops. Let me clear it so we can start over. Loft C. So we're going to give myself a frame here. We're going to go up on my hill. I'm going to stick a little bit down on the hill. I don't want to go right to the top of it. Okay. And we'll just kind of go down about even with our other thing there. Okay. So now we have the first sort of line of our mountain, basically. So the next line I'm going to do, and for this one I'm going to have to kind of choose wisely where I go with it. Something I can do is go here, And so this is where we're gonna go loft set, and that'll, oops, we don't want to set, sorry, loft frame. We want to add a position, not set. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do this in midair because we want to add a position. Sorry, I'm thinking in my head. Okay, so position there, and we're just gonna kind of get up near our selection there. Trust me, it looks a lot more complex than it really is. So all I'm really doing is just kind of making a frame. So I'm gonna make another frame right here, and then another one right here, and it'll just kind of make my mountain look like a mountain. So yeah, I start another frame right here, and we just kind of go up with another couple of positions, going towards my my top part there again. There we go. And then I grab one more here, and we go up. We can do maybe a position right here, and one more right here. And as you can see, it's kind of already making ourselves a nice little net mesh of a mountain. So yeah, this is the added bonus. It's if you have maybe, you know, a chunk that you just kind of missed, and you're like, I don't want to do this with World Edit. I don't know. It's too much to do with this with Voxel too perfectly. And normally this would be something you'd want to do, you know, for like maybe a sort of perfect mountaintop sort of look. So I'm gonna go ahead and loft clear. I want to try, so I actually like this lump a little less. So what I'm gonna try to do is we're gonna start at the bottom this time though. We're gonna make my outline of this hill again. I'm gonna go all the way up to here. We're gonna go all the way down to, let me kind of actually see where I'm going here. Yep, to here. Okay, so now we have sort of the back end of our outline. Go here. Oops, don't need to get rid of that. Let me do our positions, kind of flowing up towards them. Position. Okay. Position. 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 Frame. Position. Position. Okay. So this might be a little bit flat, but I think you guys get the idea. Might be better to kind of plan out where you're going with this if you're going to use this a bit more than I'm doing right now. I think something this probably would be a bit easier to do things with is just kind of going and doing a, whoops, I need to loft clear. I'm getting distracted halfway through my things. So yeah, the best case scenario for the loft tool would be going in and just kind of setting a frame there, and then going in and setting yourself a nice little thing here, and then kind of giving a whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, so that is a lot. Let's actually, I want to see what's happening here. I may have done this wrong. Loft set 1. Nothing's happening. Gmask 0. There we go. Okay, yeah. It worked. So yeah, just kind of, if you need to quickly smooth something and you don't want to mess up everything around it, definitely a solution to use the nice loft tool. And it works in 1.13. So there's your bonus. I hope you guys enjoyed my lovely tutorial stream today. If you guys have any more questions, of course, ask in the comments below. I am always glad to answer them and see them. Yeah, and if you guys have any builds of your own, if you guys want to show off stuff, or if you have any questions on builds, you can join the Discord as well and ask us questions on there. And yeah, I'm sure you guys know how all the buttons down there work by now, so click them as you please. Thank you guys for watching the tutorial. Make sure to join not tomorrow, but on Sunday for the part 2, which is going to be semi-advanced, where we will be going over GoBrush and mainly Terragen. I hope to see you guys then. Pluto out.